Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great award-winning show called DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. It is August 6, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, one day closer to the end of the earth, one day closer to your crypto bags being super fat. ETH, Ethereum. Is it moon or is it doom, ladies and gentlemen? Why isn't ETH pumping like Bitcoin does? Why aren't they getting the love? But will they get the love soon? We'll find out later today. Also, something of interest to pay attention to. Pedro and I talk about the economy a lot here, especially on Technical Tuesdays. But today at 1 o'clock, there is a bond offering for some 10-year notes that everyone's talking about. It's got to go well. And if it doesn't, it's going to look bad for Mr. Trump and his whole plan. So be paying attention to the markets at 1 o'clock today. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, my co-host in the house with the haircut for the first time in 12 years, debuted on this show. On this show, ladies and gentlemen, the first haircut in 12 years for none other than my co-host Pedro Garcia. Pedro, what's going on?
What's up, dude? How you doing? He's turning 13, 14 over. He's cracking voices over here.
I couldn't believe it. Tell us, Pedro, what happened to the hair?
Well, my kid basically is changing his life. He grew his hair out and stuff like that when he was being a knucklehead, and he's just like, I want a clean shot. I want to change up my appearance, and he was really struggling with cutting his hair because he's got long hair himself. And
yeah,
he's like, I need. And so I said, well, if you want a haircut and you really want to do this, I'll cut my hair with you. And he's like, what? He's like, well, and I said, yeah, as long as he's done it.
You don't have cancer or anything. You're just cutting it because you're setting a good example.
That's exactly what it was. So, I can always grow it back, but, it's one of those things for him that he needed. He needed that extra support. So I said, man, let's go. We'll do this together. And it was a good experience for him. And I got to pray with him that, his decision would be more succinct. And there was definitely a line in the sand for his good behavior and what he wants to do in his life. It was a growing up moment. And it was great. Really good.
When someone sacrifices their hair for you, you know they're looking out for your best interests. Although I have to say, I grew my hair out just recently for the longest I've ever. I thought for COVID I had it pretty long. It was like, down to here or just thick in the back. It's a little more thin on top now than I'd like it. But I grew it out, and for a while, a couple of times I would be like, oh, this looks really good and I love it. But I was in that no man's land between just looking like a homeless and having decent hair. And I was like, that's going to be another 2 years, and I'm not into it. Went for the haircut. Mrs. Striking said, boom, we're in. Pedro got the cut. The market's got the message. We honor the fade. But now Pedro's screwed, though, because he went for the fade. I don't go for the fade. If you go for the fade, you have to go for the haircut all the time.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, what you do is...
I like to go like every 6 months. You're going to need to go like every 2 weeks. That's money.
I used to do that, but the thing is, what you do is you get the haircut, and like on the military base, you pay $10. You know what I'm saying? They'll know how, this is not a hard haircut. This is a skin fade to up here, like $10-15. I have no problem with that, and they know how to do it. So, I mean, this is basically a high and tight, which with a little bit on top is really what it is.
With a little extra gray on top? Is that what you're saying, Pedro?
Ouch. Over here, he's cut me deep. It was funny. It's because, like, I was sitting there, and a friend of mine was looking at it going, dude, you look like younger. Like, you look younger. And I started laughing. I was like, nah, I think I look the same. He goes, no, you look younger. And I started laughing. And I said, well, you know what? I love the gray hair, though. I love this little like gray, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like stripe, like I got right here, like right in the middle. And
yeah, it grows. Right here. I got it too right here, right there, at the little gray part. But just it seems like just 2 weeks ago it was really thin, and I was boop. Like for some reason, gray hairs are like fertilizer. They're a virus. They contaminate the follicles next to them and boop, 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 boop.
Crypto Mikey, what's up?
Pedro in the house with the short hair. Crypto Mike in the house.
Hey guys, do us a quick favor, hit the like button as well as hit the share button. You know how much that helps us out. We're just starting, trying to get this thing populating. And if you guys could help us out and help us to push this content out. Also, we got quite a bit of push. Many of you guys went through and made some comments down in the comment section, not in the message section, but in the comment section. We had a pretty good push because of that. So if you guys could just do that again, that would help us out. Just say, hey, what's up? I don't like the guy with the big nose. It's nose, N-O-S-E, right? Not K-N-O-S. Yeah, sorry.
All right, Pedro, we're going to hit up one of our segment sponsors here today, and get along with the show after that. So, then thanks for everyone for joining here in this historic day when Pedro, after 12 years, has finally cut his hair. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of paying outrageous prices for your medications while other countries pay a fraction of the cost? President Trump just signed an executive order to fix this problem. But why wait? BlockbusterHealth.com is already offering Americans these savings right now. We're talking up to 80% of the same exact medications you're already taking. Same brand, same quality, same fair prices. Whether it's Ozempic, insulin, or any other prescription, Blockbuster Health connects you directly with licensed pharmacies that offer international pricing. No middleman, no markup, just honest prices. Call 1-888-350-1353 or visit blockbusterhealth.com. Americans shouldn't have to choose between their health and their wallet. Check it out. I'm going to stick with this ad just for a minute, Pedro, because I did something differently today, and it didn't put the overlay up here.
Oh wow.
Anyway, while I'm trying to do that, remember blockbusterhealth.com 1-888-350-1353 for those of you here in the U.S. or Canada. Americans shouldn't have to choose between their health and their wallet. Check it out. I don't think we're going to get paid on this one, Pedro. I blew it here with the overlay, and then I said it was from Canada. Anyway, blockbusterhealth.com is already offering Americans these savings right now. We're talking up to 80% of the same exact medications you're already talking. Same brand, same quality, just fair prices. Whether it's Ozempic, insulin, or any other prescription, Blockbuster Health connects you directly with licensed pharmacies that offer international pricing. No middlemen, no markup, just honest prices. Call 1-888-350-1353 or blockbusterhealth.com. There's a link in your comment section that says learn more. Click that. On the next ad, I'll have the QR codes fixed.
I will be back in a second. I actually got to step away. Give me a second.
All right. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's at least fix the music here for that. Rumble upgraded their studio, allowed a more kind of granular control of things, and one of the things you have more control over is the ads, and I blew it.
It happens sometimes, man. You can't be perfect all the time.
Hey, that's true, Pedro. And I was not perfect today trading Bitcoin. We saw a big pump about an hour and a half ago or so. We were running along in, as they say, a small idiot box, and Callie, and I thought the time was right for a long. And sure, and I did a nice risk management trade. Lined up a 3-for-1, and got about $35 into the profits, and it started to retrace just a little bit, and I didn't let the trade play out. I've been telling you and the audience and everybody that I'm bad at letting a trade grow according to plan. And it just got a little bit of profits, made one candle starting to come back, and I'm like, oh God, this is expensive. I better, I sold. I did make $35, okay? I like that. not more than 5 minutes later, a short squeeze happened and ripped it all the way up. It would have been a $200-300 trade for me. So it's not the amount of money. You've been working on that with me. It's the percentages. I get that. But it's my behavior in trying to let the trade play out.
Yes.
It frustrates. Mrs. Striking, she's like, "What? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I'm like, "This trade." She goes, "Are you sure trading's right for you? You lost another trade?" I said, "No, these aren't losing trades. I'm winning, but I'm not following through on the plan, and I should be."
Follow your plan.
I know, it's these things. It's like you put all this effort into it, and lettuce prep at McDonald's guy makes a lot more money than you, and because you don't follow through in your plan, right? For now. And so I was like, mother effer.
Even you messing up. Okay, I'll put it like this: because you're making a little bit of money, your compound interest will take care of it. If you make $100 a week, okay, I know you're like, only $100 a week? That's crap. But you make $100 a week, every single week. That's $5,000 a year. If somebody gave you a check for $5,000 at the end of the year, would you be happy?
Yeah, I'll tell you, especially near Christmas.
All right. Now, let's say next year you double it up because now you've got 5,000, so you can risk more. Okay. Now you take that and you make 10,000 the next year. It's not a bad, you're like, okay, at the end of the year, I have $10,000. Now, 3 years out, somebody gives you 20,000. Not a bad year. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
Power of compound interest.
4th year, they give you 40. 5th year, they give you 80. 6th year, they give you 160,000. Start with $100 a week. That's what I always say.
I did. I'm trying to. I'm at the. My goal is $100, not a week, but a trade. And I only trade. Mrs. Striking doesn't understand this. She's like, "Oh, there's some time here and there. Why don't you go trade?" I'm like, "No, it's not just to go sit. It's not like an ATM where you just go to it and press buttons and money comes out. I mean, if it was, I would never sleep. You'd be like this. Must trade more." And I said, no, I can only trade during certain times when certain things happen.
High volume.
Mm-hmm. And so she's getting it.
She'll learn. Listen, have her take a couple trades. Is she traded? Can she have the trader's mindset?
No. She's the let everything sit in piles of $100 bills under the mattress mindset.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
We clash about this, as they say. A clash of wits, not a clash of anger.
No, it's absolutely. Here's the thing. It's all about that compound interest, and that's compound interest. But here's the thing. $100 a day, right? Let's say you take $20 of that every day out. $30 a day. Okay? Or you said $100 a trade. Let's just assume, okay, that within that $100 every trade, you take 3 trades. Take out $20 a day, or $20 a trade. Put it aside. Okay, just put it aside. Boom, let it grow. Put it into, let's say, a stable coin. You can stake it, and then from there you're making 3% on that, right? Or not 3. What is
right?
It? Most of the time they're like 4 or 5%. But in that same sense, you just do that. Now, at the end of the year, right? For the guys who understand that if you're married, that your wife or your husband wants you to bring home some money. Like, it's really important, right? If you're wasting time there, they're like, what are you doing? Like, you need to be out there being productive for the family. When you sit there and you are able to take out of each trade, right, that $20, right, and you set it to the side, that is going to grow. And then you have your trading account, and then you also have that other account that you can say, hey, babe, we've got that bill. All right, boom, here it goes.
Right.
And so you have your trading account. It's like you can be able to take. So you can do what you need to do. And again, this is all about, now Tom's already on the other side here where he's a profitable trader. and he's able to continue that. But he's also had many years of looking at the market, you know, like even though like he just needed kind of me to kind of help structure his thought process. But the truth is he followed, he listened to me. I said, get a game plan, get an edge on the market. And obviously I helped a little there, but he's the one who did the work. He really did the work, and he's doing the work. And so from that moment on, he'll just keep going and keep pushing forward. And before you know it, that $20 turns to $40, turns to $80, right? Turns to $160. And all of a sudden now, instead of that $5,000 account, there's 20, 30,000 in there. You can just simply say, all right, this goes here. Or, hey, babe, you want to go on vacation? We've been working really hard. You know, like, what was it?
Right. All right, Pedro, I'm going to cut you off because we got to get the show started here. This is a good talk, but our plan was to talk quickly about my trade. Here, move that over just a bit. So yeah, this is where no, over towards me a little so I can point to it. Other way. There you go. Yeah, I got in the trade right here, right? A little liquidity sweep right here. I said, all right, it's good. It's been trading in this range a lot. I figured it's going to come back up. There's some moving averages here. It bounced off. Very nice. And it started coming back up here. And then there's one red candle in here a little bit. I don't know what time frame you're on, but it
right there.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, that little red candle is where I sold. And then boop.
Oh,
I know.
And your stop is right here. Your stop is right here. You were perfect, dog. Oh, that is like the best play, dude. This is I salivate towards this. When I see this right here, when I see that, okay, look here, you see volume increasing.
Yep.
Then the sellers tried to sell it off, right? And when they sell it off, you can see, and I'm gonna expand this here real quick for you guys. They tried to sell it off right here, and the sellers couldn't do it. Like they, look at the amount of volume come in. It's like half the volume. And so when you see that, you're like, oh, nice. Look at it. See this increase of prices going here? Granted, you see a bunch of seller wicks. Okay, so this is something to pay attention. Also, the seller wicks. But look at the increasing in volume coming in, right? And then you see the sell-off, okay? And when you see the sell-off, you can see that we actually are putting a buyer wicks here. And then the part that you should be looking at is this little candle here. Look at the amount of green volume coming in. And you're like, ooh, all right, that's nice. And then you can now start to see as it's pushing up, you're like, well, it could come back down to here. So you want to make sure that your stop is either right here or right here, right? Between that 14, what is that? Let's just make sure I do it correctly. You could sit there and say, all right, he got in right here. Tom got in around here. And then his local area could be right here. So you could risk $30 to try to make $100, which is going to basically be right here and to push up all the way up into this level. And that little area right there, when you start to see that amount of volume just being really slow, like really low, and this area sitting right here, that is the prime of saying sellers are out, they're done, like they can't do anything. You're going to see the market go up.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful, and that's awesome. Now that you know that, like you'll be like, oh yes, you'll get excited.
I know. Grr.
Okay. So let's check out BTC, what it's doing here real quick, and then we'll jump right into ETH here real quick. All right, so check this out. It's really cool. We're watching BTC start to consolidate here in the nice little idiot box, which is really cool. We saw it come down. It's playing off of that 8-period moving average, which is what we want. We're seeing it.
This is the daily chart, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is the daily chart on the 8-period moving average here on the daily chart. You can see here that we're finding support. I thought we were going to come down here. Okay, like I said, most likely I expect us to come down. That's what I said yesterday. But I said also that I don't know if it's going to, because it's finding support on the 50-period moving average. And if this holds, then it all depends. And I said, if we hold off of that 8-period moving average, you can see here, and I brought this up yesterday, about that. I said, if this thing, I said, this closed green, and we're seeing the sell-off here. So I think we might go down first to go up. I just didn't know. I said, this is always a little hard here, like this play, because you're in between dynamic resistance and dynamic support, along with them searching out for liquidity. But if they can't push the liquidity down far enough, they're not going to be able to push the market down. Like, it's just, like I said, there's that fight between bids and seller, or bids and asks, right? Bid is you're buying, ask is I'm asking to sell this. And so you're seeing that fight going on here. And so I said, I just didn't really know, but I think they're going to most likely push it down. But it would be a pleasant surprise if they decide to push it back up. That's the best thing, because that's best for my bags and your bags. So
bags, fun bags. Not those fun bags. When it came out of my mouth, I said that and was like, yeah, fun. No. Why would you even say that? Like, why? Like, that's just, I'm sorry, forgive me. That's just came out of my mouth. All right. So insert foot. All right, next, you can see here though now that if we close above that 8-period moving average, that is for me a bullish sign. We're going up to that 16 area here, and we'll probably see a little bit of a ping pong here. We'll see it go up, ping pong, boop, 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 and then see it go like that. So we've already traded through our zone here, so I don't really expect it to really see it come down. I think we'll be pushing. I mean, if you look at the monthly wick here, we had a pretty substantial monthly week here, so it's pretty nice. I mean, if you look at comparative to a lot of the other wicks so far, it's a decent wick. It's a little on the smaller side, but I think we could see it continue up here. We're finishing up the first week here, and then this makes sense to when you look at the, we'll ping pong off of this area here between the 8 and the 20 for maybe a day or two, and then like let's do this, boom, 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 like that. Most likely something like that. So, and hopefully this is where we get started on this month up candle. So that's about it in a nutshell for ETH. Let's check out Ethereum. That was Bitcoin. Before Pedro gets started here, ladies and gentlemen, thinking about Ethereum here for a minute, we've talked a lot of, and it's admittedly it's Ethereum week. You know, it's their birthday week. 10 years ago, Vitalik launched this thing, introduced smart contracts to the process, in which they were touting them as things that everyday people could use. You could have a smart contract with a plumber, and you could both be part of the smart contract, and when the work is done and you accept it, the plumber automatically gets paid. You know, it was a little bit different for payment back then, but now with stable coins and stuff, it really makes these kind of concepts strong. But ETH has struggled. ETH struggled with a little bit of poor design over time. They were too slow. They didn't anticipate the surge in volume. They didn't anticipate that their validator nodes would need to work faster, or how much data each one of their little blobs of memory needed to take up, or globs of data needed to take up in memory. And they've tried to fork it, or they tried to upgrade it. They tried to do a bunch of things. They have, Pedro, I believe they've done well bringing the cost down, but they want to bring it down a lot more and get it to be a lot faster. Because as we've seen, the growth of level 2 chains on the back of Ethereum has taken a lot of the volume away from Ethereum because they're cheaper. And they put 20,000 transactions into one Ethereum transaction and secure it on the ETH blockchain for security, and that works pretty well. However, Ethereum's like, but we want the glory. We don't want people to have to go through two blockchains. We want to do it on one. And many other new layer ones come out now. It's much easier to develop blockchains than it was 10 years ago. And they're better, faster, and all this type of stuff. But they don't have the name, they don't have the reach, and they don't have JP Morgan putting hundreds of billions of dollars into it of their own money and of your ETF money. But why isn't the price at $10,000? Why is it not at $100? When it got to be so expensive, people couldn't. People had wallets stuck with like $50 in it. There's probably 10,000 wallets still left over. People just gave up trying to get the money out of it, just sitting there with dead money. But anyway, the point is, Ethereum's making the turn. It got its ETF. The banks are investing it. Investment houses are investing it. Retail's FOMOing over it right now. Pedro, why is this not $10,000 a token or coin now?
I think because of options. Literally, and was that a rhetorical question or was that like a legit?
Nope, that's just to kick off this discussion in your chart magic.
Okay. I think one of the things that we're definitely seeing is just simply the idea behind this has been TradFi is trying to bring some stability here that you can play here. So you can actually, there's a lot of options that are starting to be played on a lot of crypto projects or crypto blockchains. And those are side bets. They're a 10 to 1. And so many times an institution can sit there and bring the market that it is playing in into more of a stable area. The thing is within Ethereum, I always say like it's like a lion. Like all they need is something good. They need a meme coin. They need something on the blockchain that will get going. And if they can really start to hit hard on meme coins or a major utility coin that gets established on their blockchain and they lower their blockchain fees, it's done. Like I personally think it's done, and we'll see it just explode, just like BNB, again, just like everything else. And when you sit there and you look at it, because so many people have Ethereum, like I literally have Ethereum that is a BSC wrapped Ethereum, right? That you got rewards from. Right. And I sit there and I'm like, this is cool, right? So like I can sell that, turn that into Ethereum. There's a lot of things that are already correlated. I mean, it's an OG. It's like you have Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, like both beasts. I mean, you know, like you ain't gonna. I'm not gonna mess with any of them, even in their bad stage. When Muhammad Ali, i.e. Bitcoin, had dementia, I'm still not gonna mess with him. Like, cause like you don't, an old dog, you know, and all of a sudden you got 4 fingers instead of 5, right? So, and Mike Tyson, you know, he's getting up there, but I ain't gonna mess with the dog in him, bro. I mean, listen, we all saw he was playing around with Jake, when at that last fight. I mean, he, even at the end, he was joking around about how he's biting his freaking, he didn't want to bite in here, you know, like. So, and I would say that's like Ethereum. And Ethereum, look, it's an old dog. It's you know, you have BTC, you have ETH, right? In the same sense, you have the same analogy of all it needs is just something for it to sit there and say, let's go. And all of a sudden, it's pumping. If they lower their fees like they're really trying to and becoming much more efficient in that, and we're seeing that happening, it's just a matter of time before somebody launches a coin, another project that just goes from, you know, 100,000 to all of a sudden it's, you know, 20 billion. And then what happens? Somebody else launches something and all of a sudden it just takes off. So it's one of those things that it's not if, but when. And so I think that's really what's happening. And then from there, that's when all of a sudden you see TradFi going, woohoo, right? All of a sudden some big name institution puts on a, you know, a naked call somewhere, and all of a sudden they make, you know, $50 billion or $100 billion. Excuse me, that's nothing. Actually, that's even nothing. They make literally like $500 billion, almost $1 trillion on a trade that they got in, and they didn't understand the blockchain and the full system of within the meme coins, and it explodes. And before you know it, we're sitting at 13,000 BTC, or excuse me, 13,000
Ethereum.
13,000 ETH, and it's a game over. It's game over. I feel like we're I think we're like a Monday football analogous, right? Of like a ESPN show, right? Talking about football, but we're talking about blockchain here. So there you go, guys. That's
all right, Pedro. I'm gonna run a quick ad here, and when we come back, let's look at the chart and see if 10,000 is what does the chart say for the future of this year with Ethereum?
We will.
Let's see if I can get this right here. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. For some reason, it's not transparent. The ad. So let's do it this way. Rumble, why isn't your ad transparent? All right, I'm just gonna do it like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Pedro and I have been having a good time here on Rumble. They've been very good to us creatively and with the tools to distribute our content to you. But when Rumble first started in 2013, they built a platform for the small creator like us. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted that they fell to the pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked in governments like France. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with just brand advertisers. They just don't get much of their money. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Sorry, I lost my spot. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now's the time to join Rumble. Also, ladies and gentlemen, right here, I have this QR code right here. You click that, let our advertisers know that we have an interactive crowd. Click that crowd, click it, and go visit it and see what Rumble has to offer you for joining Premium. Thank you to rumble.com/premium for sponsoring this segment. All right, I got to work on the new layout here. Just so you know, Pedro, Rumble upgraded their back-end studio here and made things more easily controlled, including the advertising. But it wasn't. Instructions were not that clear. So
got it. No.
I'm like, ooh, it's all new and great, and all of a sudden, hey, it doesn't work the same.
Yeah, it's like going from one trading platform to another. It's like they're similar, but it's just, and like one may be easier. Like everybody always tells me, the ISO network, or was it ISO phone, or I forget what it's called. You can't say Apple. I guess these kids today, they don't say
iOS.
iOS. That's what it's called, iOS. And so like that's what you got to use. And I was like, why can't you say Apple? Like that's what old people say. I was like, that's literally how it was touted. It's not touted iOS, is it? I don't know. Maybe
you should have seen the what was the guy's name? Johnny on the Jesse Waters show went around asking people what they thought, asking young kids, what's the first thing they think of when they hear the word Facebook, and almost unanimously it was old people.
I don't care. Like whatever. Good.
Old people. It's true though. Everyone I know on it's old like me.
I'm cool.
My kids are like, I would never use that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking before the break. We're talking about Ethereum, where they came from, right here in Canada, in Kanuka-Stannyville, in Toronto, just down the road. In fact, I was in Toronto for their 10th birthday, and they made a big deal about it. But then Ethereum quickly left for Switzerland, where there was better rules for it, and Canada was like, "You're evil." Now Canada embraces it, similar to the United States. But anyway, 10 years on now. 10 years ago, Bitcoin was about, you have 5,000x your money. But 10 years in Ethereum, you've done pretty well too. But why isn't it kept up with Bitcoin? We went over the workings of it here, the blockchain issues of it. But now Pedro's going to tell us what are the charts? What do the charts have to say about this this mighty Ethereum over this? Can it get? I follow a guy on Twitter and elsewhere. Great mindset for crypto, and he's been following Ethereum for a while, and he's like, it has to go. The volume is coming, the ETF's coming, this kind of stuff. He's not a moon boy by any means. He's a technical analysis person too, And, well, I don't know if he's a technical analysis person. He's just looks at the market. And he says it has to go. It's ready to go to 10,000. Is it?
Yeah, I think he's very much right. I think
damn.
Yeah. So let's look at it from this perspective here. Okay. So you can see here, we took out all these stops. So there are so many stops. You can see that they stopped these guys.
What time period are you on here, Pedro?
This is actually the weekly period.
Weekly
here.
chart. All right.
It's the weekly. And so you can see down here, back in between March, the middle of March and April, you can see that we came down, we sold off at the beginning of the year. You can see that they stopped a bunch of people out right here. Then from there, we saw an increase. Now, the increase wasn't necessarily with a ton of volume, because the volume really came in from the previous push, which was really right here and back in 2022. There was a ton of volume coming in. Then they restructured and they actually went into, and this is really important to understand, proof of stake, right? It was a big day. I remember this. I was talking with the story that I was talking with the story of I wasn't on Bankless. I was in the comments of Bankless, because they were saying this is going to go to $1 billion, or not like that, but they were like totally stoked about it, really pushing up. I said, guys, they're putting in the short. They're going to sell this off. I'm letting you know, like, that's what they're doing. And so we were sitting around, I think it was right here when, I think in March of 22. Real quick, can you check to see when they actually went to proof of stake?
Yeah.
Because I remember it was around this area here, either here, I forget exactly when, but I remember I was streaming live, and me and Tom, I think I'd already been on Tom's show, but I was still doing it by myself. And then from here, you could see here that I was sitting there saying, guys, they're putting in a bunch of the stops here. So as I expected to go down, and it was interesting, the guy saw me and they were like, yeah, and whatever, it's going to drop, or it's going to keep
September of 22.
That's when it was. Yeah,
in an event known as the Merge.
Yeah, September, boom, here we go. It was here. It was right in this level here. And so I was talking about this because it was going up, and I said, guys, it's going to go down. I'm telling you, I'm expecting it to go down because we're putting it in the shorts. And again, I was not anybody. I was still, I mean, when I say anybody, I was a personal trader, but I didn't want them to hurt anybody. And everybody was going long, going, this thing's going to go back up to all-time highs. And I said, institutions are not going to have that. They're not going to have that, because I'm already seeing buyers step in, or excuse me, sellers step in. And so the next day they actually went live. Long story short, they basically said, it's still up. And then the next day they dropped it. It was actually in the middle of the day to the next day they dropped it. And I was just like, it hurt me, because it's like, I need to get better at communicating. So the reason why I'm saying that is, since then, we can see that the volume dropped, but our real volume came in at these levels here. Like if you look right here, you can see here we had volume come in around this area here, and you can see we basically kind of posted here for a while. This was the base here. Can I do it again? This area right here is the post area, where literally this is where the volume has been coming in. So every time I hit this area, you can see an increase in volume, right? When they stopped everybody out, again, an increase in volume. Again, I'm looking at the weekly chart here. So you can see here, this is the base. Look at all, there's a lot of buyers happening. So every time it's come in this area, we've definitely always seen buyers stepping in. And so now that it's starting to, like, we're going consolidating here, I'm pretty positive we're going to see it come back down here. We're going to see it come back down to this lower level area here, and we'll see it come tap the 8, and then we should see it go up. And from that level, I expect it, because it keeps tapping this area of supply. It keeps tapping this area of supply, and these areas of supply basically show that, like, yeah, they're gonna go through this area. Once they go through this area, that's all, it's the best way of putting it. They're gonna go through this area, the all-time high, and then it literally is nothing but up. And I think that's when they'll probably come out. They'll really push meme coins. They'll push on-chain simplicity, and then from there, really kind of get this thing up and running. The key point is this: is they've got to make sure that they really drop the Ethereum rate so that when this thing starts to go, people can actually get in and get out without being charged 25% just to buy something. And I think, I mean, actually, it's not even 25% anymore. It's like 10%, 12% on average now. But it's still something that is, people don't like paying, because I mean, you can go on to Solana and pay a fraction of that. And so I think they're definitely going to make sure that they're going to come out with something that's going to pop. And so I think it's going to be pretty soon, because it would make sense that now that they're nearing this, and I think institutions are stepping in. I think institutions are looking into this and want to buy. You can see here that like you had a pretty good amount of volume coming in last week, but look, it barely really went down. And so that's why I'm expecting it to really kind of push up. Right now we don't have a demand wick. I expect to see that to come down, hit this area, this 8 right here on the weekly, and then to see it get going. So that's it in a nutshell. But the key point that we're looking for is really to see them coming out with a new way to make sure that they keep the
prices down.
Yeah, keep the price or keep the fees down, right? And why am I calling it the exchange fees? It's the
validator fees.
The validator.
However you want to say it.
Whatever it is.
But so in essence, what needs to happen? It needs to break into a little bit of price discovery up here, along with a technological change to keep the prices down. When was the last time we saw ETH be really busy, where people like the ETH network's overloaded and it's $100 to move something from one wallet to the other? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Chuck even says, go check your old wallets for ETH leftover. I remember having, I had like collectively like $300 and I couldn't get any of it. Thankfully, I've since been able to, but and also new ways have come to swap that are a lot less expensive.
Yeah.
But still, still more than a cent to make one of these trades is, or not trades, but just to move it from one place to another is, ridiculous. When it's 0.000 something Matic, 0.00 something Solana, it doesn't need to be $100.00.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, we talked about this earlier this week, or I don't know if it's this week or last week, but I said I expect to really see crypto exchanges really coming down, as well as blockchains, for the fee wise, because right now you're just gouging. Like, we know it doesn't cost that amount of money to send money. So you're basically in essence saying, yeah, we're not as expensive as, let's say, Swift, but you know what? We still want to get our money. And it's like, well, the truth is if all somebody has to do is create a decentralized system, and then within that decentralized system, make sure it's either proof of work, and all of a sudden now they're making money on proof of work, and they can mitigate the fees, and all of a sudden now all the exchanges and all these blockchains that are charging money are shot. like now you're shot, because now I'm making money on proof of work, and I can send just as quick. And if the fee itself is minute, and if it's even a 50% less than what you're charging, I'm going over here. And so it just makes sense that sooner or later, there's no way that they're going to be able to keep it up. And in addition to that, I know that major institutions see the amount that crypto users are used to paying, and so they're willing to take, to undercut, for a tenth of that, because it's going to be more money for them than traditional finance. Right. Because I mean, in traditional finance, fees are just, when Robinhood came out almost 8 years ago, they just decimated the market. They
totally did. Companies couldn't pay. They tried to charge you fees, and they're like, it's free on Robinhood. And the other companies are like, it's free. How can it be free? Robinhood's like, no, we're actually getting paid. We should be paying you to trade. And the other companies are like, their heads were spinning around like The Exorcist and shit, and just and they broke the market. And they broke a lot of other things when they got busy, and they got in some trouble for that. But like every other company, they learn, they grow, and Robinhood's been kicking butt.
Yeah, and it was funny is I remember telling my friend, I said, "Listen, they're trading against you." He's like, "No, they're not." I go, "I don't care what they say. I mean, companies lie. I told him the situation that happened in 2008 with Goldman Sachs and Bank of America and a few other things that happened. And he's like, yeah, but they wouldn't do that. I go, yeah, they would.
Have you ever watched The Big Short?
Like, yes, yes, they will. They will lie to you to your face because they're making hundreds of billions of dollars because they're lying to you. And then they will pay a fee of maybe $100 million to $200 million thinking, oh, you really hurt me. And they just walked out literally making almost $1 trillion. Like you're going to find me with literally pennies and I'm making tens of dollars. Right, like I will definitely. They'll look at that one guy. You want to go to jail? Who's going to jail? I'll go to jail. All right, you'll get put up. You'll get put in a Ghislaine. Was it Ghislaine or Ghislaine Maxwell prison where you can come in and out. It's a nice little golden, nice jail.
Go home on the weekends.
Go home on the weekends. Do your thing. Say hi to your kids. You know what I'm saying? And then on the weekday, you're back in jail. Right? We're talking, these are the things that they get. And then they get out after 5 years and they get their hand slapped. And then Goldman Sachs goes, thank you for your duty. Right? Appreciate you. Here's $2 billion. Have a good day. Have a good life. Right? That's it. Yeah, you made us literally $800 billion. We'll give you a small cut. Right? It's how it works. I'm not even joking.
Definitely how it works. And speaking of, I'm going to transition that, Pedro, into a different type of ad this time. This time I'm going to advertise ourselves here. We've got a nice little crowd on Rumble going here. So I'm going to take a second to talk about DYOR Media here, ladies and gentlemen. Where's my screen? There we go. Have you been to the DYOR Media website, ladies and gentlemen? If you haven't, you should. There's a lot of information there that Pedro and I don't always talk about here on this show. But one of the key things on our website here is this sponsor or hire us thing. This section talks about the various types of things that our channel is looking for sponsorships. We're looking for product placements or segment sponsors, technology sponsors, and trade show partners. All of these items are areas where money needs to be spent by our network to get the word out and for Pedro and I to get paid for doing this. Product placements, if you're a marketing person or someone that has a brand that they want to feature on a growing crypto community and day trading community, get in touch with us. We're up to any ideas. You want me to put an energy drink in front of me? No problem. You want to put a Chevy truck in the background? Got it. I'll whore myself out for a Chevy truck, please. Anyway, segment sponsors. We have different segments of this show, as you can tell. And if you want to sponsor an individual one, like Defi Dojo sponsors the AMA segment of the show, get in touch with us. Technology sponsors. Our computers are getting old here. Video codecs and technologies getting new and increasing every day. Get in touch with us. If you're with CDW out there, I know one or two of you have watched our show. I'd like for you to sponsor our show and get Pedro and I some new stuff. We'd really like to move away from my clunky broadcast software into the Unreal 3D virtual studio system. Love to do that. And of course, if you're a trade show group or you want your name out at a trade show by having two very skilled commentators, please talk to Pedro and I. As the ad here says, engage our personalities. We can produce your live events or host your live events. Here we teamed up with the Blockchain Futurist conference and did the play-by-play for them during the show, and it worked out very well for them and made their stream just a little bit more entertaining. So Pedro, instead of reading a Rumble ad that time, I thought I would read our own ad.
I actually like that. That's actually really cool. You did that so smooth. It's very interesting. I really liked how you're almost like a Sunday football commentary on the markets and how we actually interact with each other. It's like good old boys talking about the markets. It reminds me of a little bit like Tasty Trade, right? Yeah. Who's
I need a bad suit like Barkley or Shaq. What did Shaq say? I don't know. Just keep talking.
Shaq, you the man. I am. He being dumb right here. This guy right here being because one day he'll be like, you'll have to look up one day. Yeah, you'll look up and be like, why is there a shadow? And look back and be like, oh snap! Be like, hey.
You know what? Crypto Mike makes a great point. I went through that whole ad and I never read our website.
Oh. Yeah, bro, you probably should. Let's jump right back in that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're right back, and then we'll come right back to the markets here. Please hire us. We're both starving individuals. We need to make some ad money.
I have it up here in the things. Thank you, Crypto Mike, for being on top of it more than me. DYORnetwork.media.
There you guys. Come check us out, guys. I'd love to have you. All right, back to the, what did they say? The schedule.
Oh, also, once again, speaking of schedule, about 1:45, I've got to go because Mrs. Striking and I have to get in the old car at 2.
Okay, so let's go and jump right into this then real quick. One of the things, so I have a friend, he is a grinder. He's in the trenches. So he likes to send me some stuff, some, low key, small little plays here. Again, you're not going to put in $1 million into this trade. Okay. This is not financial advice. This is the place you throw in $10, $20. I rarely put 50 in it, but again, I'm looking, these type of plays have the potential to really go 100x, potentially even go to 1,000x, right? Just because the degenic community is 100% in it. And the memetics, I have a lot of guys who really study memes, and there's a thing called memetics, which is like the fundamentals of memes. And so they talk about lore, the idea behind a coin, its story, its leadership behind it, as well as they talk about there's about 10 to 15 different things that they look at to really make sure if it's going to be a good coin. And so I have a few guys who I say, hey, start sending me the stuff that you want me to look at. I'd love to check out. I'll do some TA for you, and then if I like it, I'll bring it before our community. So I'm looking at this one. It's called Tonic on Sol here. And we're looking at the market cap here. And so originally when he sent it to me, it was, when was it? Give me 1 second. I think it was on Monday, but give me 1 second. Uno momento.
What do you got for a price for them?
Pricing, I have
3.6. Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Second. Yeah, it's like 502170.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure I was grabbing the right one here.
Alrighty.
I think the Great Graphics Machine might have this one stored in it.
Ooh, nice. So originally when I saw this, I think it was on, why did I not, when did he send it to me? July 29? No. Oh, yesterday. So it was up here then. It was up here. It was just coming down. And I looked at it and I said, this thing's got some ground. So I looked at the market cap here. And I sat there and I said, it most likely is going to come down to that 297, 269 area. And then
for some reason CoinGecko is not calculating its market cap correctly, but we have the price, right? We've got $22,000, $23,000 in 24-hour volume.
Yeah, you can see I have 22,000 volume. Yeah, and then from a liquidity, it's about 1/3 to 1/4 of liquidity, which is a fairly good amount of liquidity. Again, this is not financial advice, all right? And I'm not telling you to take your kid's college fund and throw it in. Do not do that. You told me to take my child's college fund out. No, I did not.
What Pedro said.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm glad we record this. Anyhow, so the reason why I say that is I'm looking for it at these lower levels. So it came down to the area that I like, which is sitting around that 297 to the 269. And then the other part that potentially we see another sell-off, if it doesn't hold here, then I'm looking at that 101 area to the 59,000 area. And so it's just like, we'll see what's up. But I guess they've got good lore, they've got good stuff with it. There's a lot of good information happening here. So I like these lower levels here as it's happening. Again, put maybe 5 or 10 here, another maybe 5 or 10 here. And then see if it does, see if it does numbers. If this thing goes to 100 million, if not, like if it goes to potentially $1 billion, then it's game over, right? Like that $5-10 now turns into basically, what would that be? Million, $1 billion, 3 zeros. So basically it could be like $40,000 you can make off of that. So again, and that's real. That is honest. I mean, I know one of these guys,
they got any idea if they got a Twitter account?
It's right here. Let's check it out here real quick. I understand. Boom. I will send that to you, my friend.
Tonic the Bonk Dog?
Yeah, Tonic the Bonk Dog. The Shiba who saved Solana. Boom.
Tonic the Bonk Dog. I can find it.
All right, cool. But it was one of those ones I was checking out, so it kind of came down to my area. They sent me something else potentially. It's called Apu, which is still on. What's it called here? Refresh. All right. Well, I guess it doesn't like me. Boom. Apu. Here we are. And I think we had Apu. We looked at Apu prior, and there's been a lot more Apus here, but it's one of those ones that I'm kind of looking at.
Isn't that the shop owner on The Simpsons? Is it Apu or Abu?
I think it's Abu, bro. Look at you, racist man. The white man trying to keep the brown.
Now get out of my store. Please come back another day.
So Apu here is it's sitting at this low level here. What's going on with the day chart? Why is it like moving so slow? I just don't understand why it's doing this.
Let's see, how far are we into this here? About 57 minutes into this. Just tweeting out to the Tonic crew here.
Definitely. So shout out to Show. Appreciate you, Shogun. Thanks for sending me this stuff. That is SHOGUN. Shout out to an OG degenic person who is in.
Is Shogun? What's his? What's Shogun's Twitter?
It is at IMMTA. Give me 1 second. Just want to make sure I can see it. It's at India Mike Uniform Tango Alpha Bravo 1.
Got him.
Yeah. Boom. Shout now that it's starting to get going. You can see here. He just sent me this today. So,
what is? Hold on. What is? Let me bring up Apu here on the great graphics machine so I can get a screen capture of that one too. 1 second. What is its Apuasta?
Yeah, Apu.
I got it.
Daha.
Is it on Solana or on?
Well, this is actually on Pump Fund right now. So.
Well, there's a couple on CoinGecko.
Okay, then let me see here real quick. So this one right here is roughly right now about 53,000 is the market cap. Got a lunch meeting. Catch you all next time. Screen playing in background. Don't forget that Fire Chicken. Yeah, let's check out Fire Chicken because we're about to check out Fire Chicken right now.
All right, well,
go ahead.
Hold on, I just want to get the Apu. I guess it's there's one on Sol. Is that the one you got here? Yeah, Radium. All right, that must be I got it. Give me 1 second and I'll bring it up here.
Do you want me to send you their CA?
No, I got it. I mean, I got the. What I do is a little different than that.
I like it down a little bit further here, though. It's got a nice little area right there. They're coming back down, so I actually like it around more at that 22,000.
Thanks, Chuck. Thanks for joining the show. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed. I tried a new thing here today. The graphics are a little different on the chat function. All right, let's bring the pricing back up. Apu apasta. Apu ja ja ja. All right, is that what you got up there? Let's take a screenshot here. Can you bring the chart up to be bigger?
Yeah, give me 1 second, bud. There we go. And let me move that right here. So that. And one last little thing. Let me put one more here. The area here of resistance is gonna kick in right here. But you know these things, man. I mean, they could. When they're this small, you can just send. So yeah, I like that area right there.
Alrighty. Give me a smile, Pedro. All right, finally got a good picture of you. Now, how do I find this thing on Twitter? Apua. Apu's coin. But is it the right one?
So it was 1 year ago is when they were moving. They've been here for about a year. I can send you their real quick. All right, sending you. That's their contract that I just got right there that I just sent you.
What I'm trying to find is their actual.
Oh yeah, Twitter. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, it says Apu's coin, but there seems to be a couple of them. See what it says. Oh, it's linked there, isn't it? Where you are.
Yeah. Where is? I know there's typically they have their.
Up on the. You should be right under your. In the upper right somewhere, I think. No, it's different on every image in these sites.
Looking for the. Where is their social medias?
Let's see if Gecko has it.
I'm just gonna jump on Twitter and see if it pops up on their search price.
Overview. Apu meme.
Yeah, they've been around for about a year.
All right, here it is. It's Apu Sol Friends. It's not that regular one. Apu Sol Friends. All right.
It did bond. So I'm just would they be on? Let me check here real quick. If they bonded. Sometimes you got to search. I mean, this is if any of you guys that are new to crypto and you're always wondering like how do you get in? on a lot of these coins here, you got to find them. And so either you search all day, or you have friends of yours who search all day, and they send it to you kind of after the fact, before then maybe the initial pump. But then what happens is you get the pullback, and then you kind of wait. You know, like I said, you throw in $5 to $10, and you might come back with a happy day. I always tell that story of that guy who was an immigrant, came over during COVID, getting paid like, you know, I had to say the immigrant money. What was it that they were giving to guys who were coming over? He was from Africa, and then he took that money and he started trading literally meme coins with that money, and he got on, like, he took, I think, like $1,000 and turned it into like 100 or 200,000, and then again he gets in and finds another banger and turns that into like 100x, and the guy makes, basically took like another maybe $4,000 or $5,000 trade that he put into another meme coin, and then turned that into a few $1 million. And before all of a sudden he was like, I love America. Kick all these guys out that are not American. Listen, I know why they're coming over. They just want to rambush you guys. And look, I'm American. I'm letting you know now. Like, you know, and granted, the dude's a millionaire now because he took our tax dollars and flipped it, and now he's paying back into the system. Because he was like, I pay my taxes. It was funny because listening to him, he was like, I pay my taxes. I'm here an American. And I said that, I was like, fair, man. You got it. You definitely are an American if you screaming about taxes. Like, I mean, that's how this country literally got started. Bunch of people.
We ain't paying no stamp tax. Screw that shit.
Dude, I was literally listening to this comedian, this black dude. He goes, you know how America got started? Through cultural appropriation. And then I was like, what? Where's he going? He goes, you got a bunch of drunk men being pissed off about paying taxes. So they culturally appropriated messing it up. And he goes, they get all riled up and then throw a bunch of drunken stupidness, and again, this is where this cracks me up. Many of these men were literally the ages of like 20 to 25. Like they came over, they worked their butt, they were 17, 18 as indentured servants, worked their butt off, made something, bought some land, then from there started really grinding and saying, we're finally making it. And then they were getting taxed. So if you were a 20-year-old, 25-year-old, and you're tired of getting taxed, listen, you're just
America.
You're just like the founding fathers, man. Taxation without representation. And so it was great. But he's like, yeah, America got started basically culturally appropriating the indigenous or the local, whatever it is. Y'all know what I mean. But it was just,
all right, Pedro. Well, you know what? Those founding fathers, they spent a lot of time, discussing all of this stuff. And you know what happens when you spend a lot of time on your feet? Your feet get tired, and you'd rather sit down. But would you rather be looking for a comfortable but unique option for your gaming setup? Well,
I do.
Maybe not founding fathers, but gaming. Check out technosportusa.com. With a wide range of ergonomic chairs in an array of colors, you will definitely bring your setup to the next level. Always comfy, never boring. Technosport. Use code RUMBLE for 10% off your entire order, especially their new gaming chairs. technosportusa.com. Wide range of ergonomic chairs, an array of colors. Tell them Pedro and Striking sent you. Thanks to Technosport for sponsoring this segment of the show.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Back to the good stuff.
There we go. There you go.
Pedro, got about 20 minutes left before we have to wrap it up, so I know there's still lots to talk about.
Yep. Any cool news?
Hold on. Quickly, let's thank the Rumble crowd. Rumble crew, everyone that's watching on us, thank you very much. We've had a number of people cycle in and out to that. You YouTube people, your algorithm's done a lousy job on it. But to Chris and to everybody at Rumble, thank you for creating this great platform for us. We want to partner with you, Chris. We want to partner with you for the Blockchain Futurist Convention Conference in Miami. And so for all of you out there that are watching, pay attention to my tweets. My tweets will have a tweet asking for the same thing coming up here soon. And we'd like you to retweet. And I'll drop it in the comment section here for you guys all to retweet when I do that. Yeah, but anyway, for everyone watching us on Rumble, many of you watch on television. And I should have a QR code for this to come up, which will help it out. But what we'd like you to do is go to rumble.com on your phone, search DYOR Media, and follow us. Create an account. You don't need to pay. You can do Rumble Premium if you want. It's really a good deal. But more importantly, you create an account. You can just use Google to sign in. It takes 2 seconds. They send you a confirming email. Do you want to do that? Yep, bang. And you have an account. It makes you able to like. It makes you able to comment, repost, share, and all these things help us out. It's not because we we count the likes we get. Okay, we do. But it's not because we're like counting. It's because we're engagement counting. We want the Rumble algorithm to know that our audience appreciates us. And it only knows that if you interact with us. And so please help us out by liking, following. Go and create an account. If you're on a smart TV, just pick up your phone. Rumble.com, DYOR Media. Boop, like. We'd appreciate it. Thank you very much for your attention.
That helps us out a lot, immensely. Also want to throw this out. Rumble, do we have another sponsor? I just noticed something. Is that sitting there for us to take?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
You only get 3 per broadcast, and we've completed our goal.
Okay, there we go. Guys, you're helping us out a lot. Really want to say appreciate every one of you guys. If you have any questions or any concern, please put them also down in the comment section. If you want me to look at a coin, that I really would appreciate that. Just say, hey, check us out. We're trying. We have no problem with you shilling. We like it when projects shill, literally, because one, if it takes off and this thing does 1,000 million X, we threw in $5. And so that was a good day for us. Sorry, I was being a goofball, but I'm being serious. But also at the same sense, talking about small coins, Chuck Jansen, who is doctor in the house always, and a great guy. I like him a lot. At least when it comes to like Bitcoin, I don't know, he's kind of old. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just this young guy over here. No, I'm just joking. But he actually posted some stuff in the section over here. So if you go down into the comment section, he has a nice little coin, and their whole entire initiative within what they're trying to do is bring education to blockchain, kind of like what we do. And they're trying to really just kind of push out, kind of teach you what to do, how to get into a chain, what are chains, and they're setting up a whole entire curriculum for education. And so if you want to go check them out, they're pretty dope. He's down there. It's called Fire Chicken, and their moniker is FCKN. They're kind of the unofficial sponsor for our show because he's always just donating because he's a cool guy, and not to get shouted out or anything like that. But I do want to shout him out just because Fire Chicken is really I know it's a good community. They're really trying hard to kind of educate people and do a lot of stuff. And they've been around, I think, about 6 months now, 6 months to 8 months. And they've really been kind of getting up and going. So we want to, never fade on the Fire Chicken, because you just don't know. Part of me was like, man, they kind of saw the major sell-off, but man, they came back and now they're just pumping again. So it's kind of cool. I'm trying to see if I can.
Oh, I don't have their chart up. I have you and me up.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull up Fire Chicken. I know I saved it. Come on, freaking Fire Chicken. Why am I not pulling you up? Let's pull it. FCKN. That's weird. Okay. There we are. Yeah, this is looking good right here. Boom. I think that's it right there. 72. Yeah. They've actually been pumping here of lately, and you can see here, like, look, it's actually pretty cool. They're consolidating right now. If they get through this area, it's really kind of all-time highs.
Wow.
They got up to 192,000. So they've been pumping here, and I've been paying attention to them. So I know that our show we do have Fire Chicken. I know that Chuck did give us some. We still have it.
Don't have any idea.
Yeah, let's check. Well, if you didn't sell it, then that means you probably still have. We just got to find it. But he did give it. He did give it to us, so we do have to disclose that.
I don't think he gave us some. I think we bought some the first time when it launched.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go then.
Which we would rather do, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I mean, we'll take free shit, but we'd rather be above board and just buy it.
Yeah, it always makes it easier. But we are holders. I think we're holders. But again, it's been following that 8-period moving average strong. I mean, this thing's strong like bull. So nice. We're seeing increase in the volume. I always love seeing when we have the red with lower volume, and then we have the green with higher volume. So that's always a good sign, saying it's most likely still got steam in them pipes and it wants to go toot toot. So let's go Fire Chicken. Good luck with you guys. Shout out to them. And then now we can do the next one. Meme coins. All right. We got Ponky here. Ponky was really interesting, dude. Is that Ponky? We saw it kind of do the sell-off situation here. But I'm noticing that Ponky on these few, like we had just nothing but just a slew of red days. But you can see here that on the green days, we saw a pretty good amount of volume coming in for buy side. And so I'm like, really? So Ponky coming down into this liquidity area. So it looks like somebody's definitely trying to buy up some Ponky here. And so that 50,000 area here is something that I've been looking at going like, or excuse me, not 50,000, 50 million area here is something that I'm looking at going, this is a potential buy area here. Is if they come down and I just see it just drop down with a ton of volume for sellers, I'm definitely want to be looking to pick some up at that 50 million and then definitely down at that 3671 area, just simply because we saw it kind of pump up here from this level. And so we'll see what happens here. But if it really like, and the other part behind it is we're seeing a bunch up of a bunch of the moving averages here. And so, and it's not selling off here. And so if I see it sell off, that just makes it easier for it to come back up and to push through these. So it's kind of what I'm trying to see here, what's going to happen. But really that 50 million is really kind of that area that is just, it seems like a substantial amount of buyers sitting there simply because we saw it go up, come back down the way it did. And when you look at that, the weekly charts, you can see here that we definitely put in some demand wicks. Now, yes, supply wicks were sitting there, but you can see here that from this level here, there's not much. This is the last supply wick. So if it's going to really see a big pump, we're going to see that pump hit by coming down into this area and then pushing it back up. The next level there is literally at that 139,000 with the 50-period moving average sitting on the weekly. And in the same area, that's also where you have, actually, give me 1 second. 130,000. I don't know why I said 50,000. 134 million were the 50-period moving average there. And so when you look at the monthly, that monthly is also sitting right here for that 20. So that's like a perfect sign saying to me, if we're going down first for the month, that means we'll most likely go up. So that's why I'm expecting us potentially to see kind of sell off into this level and then push up and then continue up. So that's what I'm looking out for Ponky there. Okay, from there, we'll check out Peanut. Peanut here has been one of those ones that I'm just like come on guys, like let's go. Like it definitely wants to go. I feel like it definitely wants to head up. But the only problem is it's just there's a lack of conviction right now. And so That's where I'm watching to see if we're going to continue. I'm looking at the buyer sitting right here, and I'm noticing that we don't have a lot of selling pressure. Like, even though we're dropping here, you can see that the selling pressure isn't necessarily there as we're coming off. So that means people either taking profits and just holding on, or literally it's just that it's just dropping here because Solana is dropping and we're just seeing it come down. And so for me, I'm sitting there going like, are these buyers going to be buying again once it hits this level right here? And if it does, we see it, then we should see it really kind of put in a higher high again. So that's kind of like what I'm expecting here at this level. And we'll see what happens, but that is what I am looking there though. This here. Boom. Okay. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, sorry about that. I was on mute. That's the squirrel that the animal control people came and got for some reason or another and killed him. Or
Yep.
Poor squirrel.
Yeah, it was actually horrible, dude. Like he had a full-on YouTube. Like, he had a big. He had a big old following.
They were showing the other videos of the squirrel that surfs too on one of their. You ever seen those videos of the surfing squirrel?
I actually don't understand why they fully did it. I mean, does anybody even know why they went through and killed that poor squirrel? I mean,
no idea. If you have any ideas, let us know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen.
Please do. Make a comment, say something.
Shout out to Mikester, who's working and listening to us in the background. Might not be able to watch all of the video or see the comments, but thanks for watching anyway, Mikester.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to Mikey. Good to have you, brother. Let's go ahead here real quick and look at Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu has been kind of floundering here. And so that's a good sign for me, literally, because I'm expecting it to go up. So we're seeing it kind of play off of that 8-period moving average. We're kind of pushing up above it. Even though we had a good amount of volume coming in, it still kind of blew it off, said, "Get off of me." And it basically is looking to maybe continue higher. So I've been paying attention to it because if it does sell off, I'm going to be buying up a little bit more at that 401 area to that to potentially 509 area here down at these lower levels. So that will be a nice little area here if we come down again, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, Shiba Inu, I still think it's like the king of meme coins. They have a huge network, and I don't think it would be that hard to really get it up and go again. So that's why I'm still buying small bits and pieces of it every time we go lower and lower. Okay, next here, Dogecoin. Dogecoin here has been really interesting. They've actually been kind of playing off of our zone here, and again, this is another area. It's trying to find support on that 100-day period moving average, sitting right here. It's the yellow line, as you can see right there. You can see right here, it's trying to find support here. It bounced off these areas of buyers, and now it's trying to push up. It doesn't have a lot of conviction with buyers stepping in, but one thing that I do notice though is that it's still holding here. So this is potentially an area that we could see it find support, consolidate for a few weeks, and then see another high come in. And so I'm paying attention to this lower level here, which is sitting at that 119 to 118 area here. Excuse me, 19 cents to 18 cents area here. Because once we put in the next leg in, and because right now Bitcoin is really suppressing a lot of the growth that wants to push up. Once Bitcoin starts to go and move up, we'll see a lot of these start to pick up again and get going. So it's one of those things I'm looking forward to for it to get going. Shouting out to crypto.com, Crow's Coin. You can see here that also, if you know anybody who knows anybody over at crypto.com, we would love to be sponsored by them. They're pretty epic. They're pretty dope. We're trying to pick up some sponsors. The more sponsors we got, the more we can get. That's just how it is. It's like a guy who's ugly, but guess what? Like me. But if you get a really hot chick, other hot chicks want to give it to you, even if you're ugly. So that's what we're trying to do. Yes, I'm referring to our show as The Ugly Guy. You know, we should literally have a show called we should literally name it The Ugly Guy. Instead of DYOR Media Network, just say The Ugly Crypto Guys. All right, the ugly crypto truth guys. There we go. That would be even better. That's actually not a bad idea. Like, I mean, not the best when it comes to sponsoring, but Tasty Trades wasn't really a sexy name too until it got big. I can't even hear you, man. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Striking was on the phone here behind me. I can't remember. Tasty Trade is the second name of it. It was something else before, Tasty something, when it was just live streaming stuff. And then when they combined, a big trading company of some sort bought it. And the lady that founded it lives in Chicago, and I've been trying to reach out to her to, you know, get some advice, have a board of advisors type thing, and no luck getting in touch with her. That's what happens when someone puts a few $100 million in your pocket.
Yeah, you kind of disappear and go live on an island and just chill.
Chill.
Mai Tais. Actually, I shouldn't say island, but you go to just places. I mean, when you're bringing in $5 to $10 million, literally just off the money sitting, right? And you're bringing in on a monthly basis, like what? I mean, $10 million, you're bringing in $800,000 literally a year. I mean, dude, that, you know how much that is?
A month.
No, excuse me, a month. I'm sorry, a month.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Imagine that.
Dude,
you go to the ATM machine. Boop, 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 boop. Beep, 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 beep.
Right.
Like in the movie Office Space, when they go and they go to the ATM, and they realize instead of stealing like $3,000 from the company, they've stolen $3 million or something like that, and it's in their ATM account. And they're like, ah! Oh, Pedro, I've had a good crowd here today. I just saw us up at over 20 viewers at a time on Rumble. It's just backed off here. We even have a couple on YouTube and Twitch again. And I just realized that today, because of the Ethereum question, I was gonna kick us over to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But I forgot. I forgot to hit the start button on LinkedIn. So bye-bye to that.
No, we just do it. I'll just, because I actually want to go back to
I mean, we're literally ending the show, so I'm not going to start broadcasting on LinkedIn.
All right.
What I'll do is I'll rerun it later. Put it on.
Yep. I'm going to jump back here to, because we're about to go right back into Bitcoin here again. So we see Bitcoin really start to take off here. Like I said, we saw the sell-off come in immediately. We went from August, we had the big sell-off, right? We talked about it putting in the wick. And so this wick is from 16 to 12. So we're about $4,000 on a wick. It might come down, but again, it might not. And so if we're finding support on that 50 period moving average, which is really important to pay attention to. And by watching this, like by the end of the day, we're going to see probably more volume come in. Like we're going to end the day with higher volume than yesterday's sell-off. In addition to that, when you look at the intraday timeframes on your hour, you can definitely see there is a big push of sell-off, even though yesterday in the morning, or last Thursday, I forgot this is the hour. Last Thursday, we saw a bunch of sell-offs towards the end of the month, right? This is them taking profits. Now we're at the new month, and you can see here in the new month, they came in. And even though we saw the sell-off kind of come in right here, look, you can see here that the increase in buyer volume definitely stepped in on this way up. And in addition to that, we're starting to see buyer wicks being created as we're moving up, which means that institutions really want this market to push up here. So I'm looking at this going like, great, we're starting to see the increase on the hour chart with the 8 period moving average. And so to me, that's what I look at to see, is it starting to trend up? And obviously it is. When you look at that 2 hour time frame, you can see that over the last few days, they've definitely been put in buyer wicks here. So I'm expecting us to push up, as Tom surmised today, that they're putting in buyer wicks, and so they should push this market up. And so with that said, when you look at Ethereum here, if we see Bitcoin, we're jumping back to Bitcoin here. If we see Bitcoin finish again with higher volume of green volume for the buyer stepping in, expect us to see this thing really send off. When you look at the Ethereum will most likely copy this, but if you look at Ethereum, you're definitely seeing more buyers step in than sellers. I mean, compared to what we're seeing here, we're seeing it push up. And so this is where I think we're going to see Ethereum really kind of take up here. But again, there is that daily candle here that it's got to sit there and push through this 20 period moving average. But overall, I think we very much are going to see Ethereum hit a 13,000 this bull cycle. I really do. I think we're going to play off of this area here, come back down, push up, boom. So that's it in a nutshell.
13,000.
Yeah, 13,000, absolutely. Also,
we're just to finish Ethereum real quick. 13,000, only a 4x from here. You know, in crypto we go meh 4x. You know, if you're a futures trader, that's a massive amount. You know, you can make all sorts of cash monies on that.
Yeah.
But the spot people still, you know, I mean, I realize Bitcoin is a heavy spot market, and it's not gonna, you know, 4x every year. You know, as it gets to the limit of the the amount of money in the world, but still a tough sell when these people are competing against Shogun and their 50 and 100 and 1000x things.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: you don't even need much though to really get this thing to do it 4x. You just need a couple meme coins and a couple utility coins to do well, and all of a sudden now it very much is. I mean, there were three primary coins on Solana that got it going, where we literally saw Solana go from $30, $20, all the way up to $295. There were a few coins that basically, like 3 or 4 coins, that just went parabolic. They went from a couple 100,000 to a few billion. And that amount of generating fees, and not just fees, but people having to buy Solana, hence to buy those coins on the Solana network, right, is the key. And again, if I was Buterin, or if I was Vitalik, I would sit there, or Mr. Buterin, I would say, you know what, we need to, and they have the money. They actually have the money in the foundation to really push for that marketing. And so that was something that I would definitely do, so that I would bring in more fees, hence being able to build up and make Ethereum more efficient. So I think that's something to be paying attention to. On a side note, we were talking about Tasty Trade, and the guy, I knew his name was Tom, but I'm messing up his name, his last name, and Scott Sheridan, both former floor traders at the Chicago Board Options Exchange. And basically they previously built the trading platform for Thinkorswim. It's who owned them originally, which was acquired by TD Ameritrade for basically $750 million. So after that success, they launched Tasty Trades in 2011 as a financial media network focused on options trading behind education with entertainment. Sosnoff later founded Tasty Lives, the media arm, which Sheridan became CEO of Tasty Trades Inc. And so I say that because our goal is to do something kind of similar, but more for crypto. And so what we would like to do, and you guys are a part of that. You guys are absolutely 100% a part of that. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you guys could help us out and hit that share button as we're growing. I have a strong feeling that we are going to reach those goals. I think that maybe it may not be, next month. I mean, fingers crossed, you never know, from my lips to the Lord's ears. But but in 5-10 years, as we keep progressing and keep bringing you guys more content or better content, and in addition to that, giving you guys better trades through our app that we're going to be coming out with here with TradeAway. Why am I calling it TradeAway?
That's it. You got it. TradeWave.
TradeWave. And so as this comes out and we start to really kind of post, we want to have a community of traders there who are good, who will be vetted by me. And if they don't got a good trading, they won't be coming on, but
Fire Chicken says, I think we'll take off here on Rumble soon. You guys are putting in the work. That's what it takes.
We are.
Just like Tasty Trade, 700 million.
700 million, absolutely. I mean, split that between me and Tom. Tom gets, 400 million.
I'll take anything with the word 100 after it. 100 million after it. 1, 5, 8, I don't, whatever.
But I would still be doing this. I don't think Tom will, but I definitely will because I really enjoy doing this stuff, and that will be good times.
I guess time will tell, Pedro.
Time shall tell. Yeah.
Time will tell, and we'll find out if I would continue doing this with 400 million in the bank. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing that music. Ladies and gentlemen! Pedro, any last things after the last things you just said?
Nope, that's it. I just want to say thank you guys. If you guys have any questions, anything you want me to look at, put it in the comments section. We can go check it out, and it'll be fun. But thanks for coming in today. And I hope you guys like the hair.
Yeah, the fact that Pedro got the hairs cut just for this show is unbelievable. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe it. What a good job Mr. Pedro did going 12 years without getting a haircut. I still can't even believe it. I can't believe it. The new system here doesn't seem to have the closing credits video plugged into it yet. So embed widgets as overlays. Nope, that's not it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna have to do the old-fashioned thing and sign off. Say, as usual, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. The man in the box next to me is Mr. Pedro Garcia, crypto chart analyst known as Pedro Damas to our viewers. Had another great show today. We will be back tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time.
Hey, question.